Every one of us is tasked with bringing the world to perfection. This week's Parsha reveals a secret to help us do just that. The book of Vayikra is a book filled with mitzvot. This week's double Parsha brings us to the end of the book of Vayikra and addresses the question of why. What's the point of all of these mitzvot? What happens if we follow them, and what happens if we don't? The Parsha addresses this not in cryptic, mysterious language, but directly. If you toil in mitzvot, in the Torah, then here is all the good that will flow because of it. If you don't, here's all the bad that will come. The warning of the rebuke that will come if you reject the Torah is much, much longer. But let's focus on the rewards, specifically on the first of the rewards promised in the opening verse of Bechukotai, the second of our double Parsha. We're told that if we not just follow the mitzvot, but labor in them, toil in them, engage in them fully with all our heart and soul, what will Hashem do? Hashem will provide rain in its proper time. What does that mean, that Hashem will provide rain in its proper time? I'd like to offer three ways of understanding it. First, we have the straightforward understanding. Once the nation enters the land of Israel, they will become an agricultural society. Ancient Israel's agriculture depended on rain. So Hashem promising to provide rain is Hashem promising to sustain the people. But that rain needs to come at the right time. If a year's worth of rain all falls in 1 week in late August, well, you're not going to have any food that year. It's not enough for Hashem to provide rain. It needs to come at the proper time. But in today's world, most of the Jewish people aren't farmers. So what does this verse mean to us right now? Well, Hashem is promising to make it rain. Now, if I had a special effects budget for this video, $100 bills would be raining down on me right now. But I trust you can use your imagination on that one. Okay, so we can still understand Hashem's promise to make it rain, to continually sustain us. But what does in its proper time mean to us right now? Well, imagine a huge business opportunity lands in your lap. Surefire way to make a fortune. All you need to do is fly to London right away and spend tomorrow closing the deal. Well, if that opportunity lands on your lap on a Friday afternoon, you have a big problem. Acting on that would mean violating Shabbat, so it's a no-go. Hashem made it rain, but not in the proper time. Finally, what does Rashi say is meant by in its proper time? Rashi says that Hashem will provide rain from Sunday through Wednesday evening and late on Friday night. What's that about? According to Rashi, the proper time is when it won't get in the way of getting ready for Shabbos. Let it rain on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But once Thursday comes, we need to go shopping to prepare for Shabbos, and we don't want to get wet while walking to the shuk. What an amazing idea. Of course, we're all expected to put our best efforts forward to keep Shabbos and all the mitzvot. But Rashi is saying that there's a difference between keeping the Torah and laboring in Torah, toiling in Torah. If we fully embrace Torah, making Torah the focus of our entire week, then Hashem will clear the path for us and make keeping Torah easier. But if we're laboring in Torah, if we're toiling in it, if we're focusing our entire week, every bit of energy we have on it, why are we worrying about it raining on Thursday? How can we even justify taking time away from learning Torah to go and shop for Shabbos? Shouldn't we send someone else to do the shopping so we could spend more time learning? Let me share examples that shed some light on two Torah giants' view of this question. First, everyone who lived in his neighborhood knew where to find Rav David Feinstein, a leading halachic authority in his day, son of Reb Moshe, on Thursday night. Every Thursday night you would find him not in the base midrash, where you'd find him any other night, but you'd find him in the market, shopping list in hand, shopping for Shabbos. Participating in the Shabbos preparations was not just as important than spending extra time learning Torah. It was the culmination of all of that Torah learning, putting the Torah learning into practice with all of his being. To paraphrase Pirkei Avot, learning for learning's sake is great. Learning in order to teach is even better. But best of all is learning in order to do. putting the learning into practice is the ultimate goal. This idea of finding the balance between learning and doing is captured in an amazing story about the Alter Rebbe, the first Rebbe of Chabad. The Alter Rebbe was at home, immersed in his learning, when he hears a baby crying. So what does he do? He puts his learning aside and goes to the bedroom to find that his grandson had fallen from his crib and was crying. The Alter Rebbe lovingly picks up his grandson, calms him, and rocks him back to sleep. He then notices his son, the baby's father, Behar, who would become the second Rebbe of Chabad, sitting in the bedroom learning Torah. But he was so engrossed in his learning that he was oblivious to what was happening around him. The Alter Rebbe takes the opportunity to give his son a little musar. He tells his son, "You should never be so engrossed in your learning that it causes you to not hear the cry of a baby." Chaverim, my friends, do you hear the cries of the babies? Do you hear the cries from the Nova Festival, from the kibbutzim in the Western Negev, from those captive in Gaza, the cries still ringing in our ears almost 600 days later? Do you hear the cries of the Jewish students on university campuses around the world? Do you hear the cries of the Israelis being shot down in the streets of Washington? Do you hear the cries from the comment section of news reports and on social media posts that are spreading lies and hate and justifying events like what happened this week in Washington? Even when we're busy with something important, even when we're busy with something holy, we should not be so engrossed in that we don't hear the cries. And like the Alter Rebbe, we all need to put down what we're doing, no matter how important, and go and do whatever we can to soothe them. So what can you do? How can you help soothe the cries? Well, for those of you in Toronto, the entire community is coming together on Sunday morning for our annual group hug. And boy, do we need the hug this year. The Walk for Israel is one way we can reach out to all of those crying in our local community and in Israel and show them we're here to support you. If you're available, I hope to see you there. If not, you can send your virtual hug with someone who is going, or reach out to someone online and let them know you hear their cries. The response to hearing the cry is to come together as a community as one, with the hopes that the opening words of Parashah Bechukotai will soon come true. I will provide your rains in their proper time, and you will live securely in your land. I will provide peace in the land, and you will lie down, and no one will frighten you. May it come to pass soon. That is one thing we can learn from this week's Parsha. How will you step up this week to bring the world a little closer to perfection? Shabbat Shalom and Am Yisroel Chai.